Welcome to Study Loop.
So a polymer is going to generally be a synthetic material. It doesn't always have to be synthetic though. And it's going to be made up of repeating subunits. Those repeating subunits can either be uniform in type. In other words, you're going to bring together monomers and you chemically link them to make a polymer. Or you can make something called a copolymer where we're making dimers of different types. So I'll talk about those two things here. So the first one that I'll talk about is a polymer made from monomers. So if we look at ethylene, ethylene is the basic subunit of polyethylene. So we can use this small molecule and link many of them together to make this. Now, when we talk about polymers, our brackets indicate the sort of repeat unit. Everything contained inside of this repeat unit is more or less representing your monomer. And N indicates that, this can represent two monomers linked together, 20, infinity. They're basically just going to make a chain of these polyethylenes and link them together to make these ethylene molecules and link them together to make polyethylene. And this is going to be an example of a polymer made from monomers. This is just straight polymer. We also have this type of polymer called a copolymer. Now, copolymer doesn't use just monomers. It uses something called a dimer, which is going to be a physical linkage of two different types of monomeric units. So a classic example takes two molecule types that I'm not going to draw all out. So if we take hexamethylene and adipic acid, they're going to make a subunit called a dimer. And the dimer is going to polymerize the same way that our monomer does with our polyethylene. And these are actually the components that make nylon, formerly referred to as nylon 66. So the main difference here is that polymers are a synthetic unit made of smaller molecules that link together and form long strands. In general, a polymer is going to be made up of monomers like this ethylene to make polyethylene. Copolymers are going to be combinations of 2 or 3 or more different types of monomers to form this polymer-like structure that technically isn't uniform because it's made of dimers instead of monomers.